Good afternoon. This is Amber with Amber Poetry and Song, and I have another prophetic word to share with y'all. So, on November 22nd, 2021, at 11:39 p.m., I had this vision of a carrot, and it was partially cut up in circles, and I noticed the middle was brown and rotting. So, I looked up these numbers concerning the date and the time in the Strong's Concordance, and I found that 1122 means a counselor, senator, or um, another definition is a member of Sanhedrin, an advisor, a counselor or member of the Jewish Sanhedrin. 1139 stood for to be under the power of a demon, to be exercised by a demon, possessed with devils of the devil, vexed with the devil. And so I looked up, carrots, and I found that sometimes people use carrot, the word carrot, um, as slang, and it means something offered to people in order to persuade them to do something. Um, and this can be referred to as a carrot. This is also known as a reward. So this carrot was rotting. To rot means to decay or to cause to decay by the action of bacteria and fungi. Other synonyms for this is to spoil, taint, perish, decompose, disintegrate, corrode. And so here's what this vision is saying: to do not sell your birthright. Um, Someone's going to offer someone something in a form of a reward to persuade them to do something, but this reward is actually of the devil. It's not from God. It's not a blessing from God. Um, and your birthright is tied to your inheritance. Um, your birthright is what's going to make you profitable unto the Lord, and even literally um, while living. This birthright has to do with your gifts and your talents. Um, and, you know, this carrot in this vision, um, it has to do with, being offered a reward or money from someone that's an agent of Satan in order to get you. The ultimate goal of this is to get you to taint your gifts or to sell out of what God has given you and called you to do. Um, and forfeit the blessing of the Lord, basically. So don't sell your birthright just to be profitable for a moment, because that reward may seem like it's good for the moment, but it's deception, and it will make you unprofitable unto the Lord. All blessings do not come from all blessings do not come from God. The enemy can bless you as well. And so to avoid that, you always want to make sure you go before the Lord when anything is offered to you, and pray about it until you receive an answer. And you may not receive an answer right away, but when you need to know an answer about something, you pray and you fast. Sorry, um, until you receive that answer, so that you don't make the mistake of falling prey to the enemy's traps. So the scriptures that God brought to mind as I was sitting for the Lord, trying to get understanding of this vision, was Matthew chapter 16. And I'm going to read verses 23 through 27. And okay, Matthew 16, 23 and 27. I mean 23 through 27. So it says, wrong place still. Okay, it says, but he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan, thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men. Then said Jesus unto his disciples, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited, if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Now, you're going to receive your reward in the end when the Lord returns. But you also are going to be able to, profit from the things that the Lord has already blessed you with, that are already within you. You don't have to sell out or sell, your soul to Satan in order to be blessed. The Lord will make it to where, as you use what He's giving you, that you will prosper in that thing. But be careful of accepting anything that comes in the form of a reward for the gifts and the talents that the Lord has blessed you with, and is wanting to use you for, to bring glory and honor to His name. And so the next scripture that I have that I want to go to is Luke chapter 4. I'm going to read verses 1 through 13. It says, And Jesus, being full of the Holy Ghost, returned from Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness, being 40 days tempted of the devil. And in those days he did eat nothing. And when they were ended, he afterward hungered. And the devil said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, command this stone that it be made bread. And Jesus answered him, saying, It is written, that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of God. And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. I'm going to pause right there because, see, the Lord, the enemy knows when is the time for blessings and harvest for the servants of God. And if he can't stop you from reaching, from obtaining that harvest, he will try to taint it in some kind of way. In this case, with this vision, because he can't stop what's happening, because he can't stop God's will for your life, he will use people to come in to try to corrupt what the Lord has blessed you with, so that you won't use it in the way that the Lord wants you to use it, since he can't stop you from doing it. Either way, if you don't do it or if you use it in the way to where it's tainted, it still makes you unprofitable unto the Lord for the gifts and the talents that he's blessed his servants with. And so I'm going to continue reading from verse 5. It says, And the devil, taking him up into an high mountain, showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. If thou therefore will worship me, all shall be thine. See, Satan tries to come in and tempt you with offering you, the cares of this world, so that you would bow to him, basically, instead of to the Most High God. That is his ultimate goal, because he wants to be God. Um, and so he's able to bless as well, but you have to be able to discern the two. And the way to do that is the reading the word and staying and praying and fasting, so that you're not deceived when things come your way, when people come your way, so that you'll know if someone is from God or if they're not, if they're from the enemy, because the enemy will send people your way as well. And so it says, and Jesus answered and said unto him, Get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. And he brought him to Jerusalem and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down from hence. For it is written, He shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. And Jesus answering said unto him, It is said, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. And when the devil had ended all the temptation, he departed him for a season. And see, when it comes to Satan, you have to, it's important to stay in the word, because, when you turn down Satan, Satan knows the word. So it's easy for him to try to manipulate you with the word. He twisted the word. Um, he used the word was written in Psalms against Christ, just to manipulate him. But Jesus told him, Thou should not tempt the Lord thy God. He knew exactly what he was doing. And so the best way to keep from being deceived is from staying in your word, staying at the foot of the Father, praying and fasting and checking with him before you do anything, before you receive anything, uh, anything that's offered to you in a form of a reward, especially when it's pertaining to the gifts and the talents that the Lord has blessed you with. So the next place I want to go to is Genesis 25. And this is about Jacob and Esau, and how Abraham blessed Isaac. He gave Isaac all he had. And Isaac, when Isaac died, um, Rebecca's twins, he was told Rebecca's twins, um, the elder would serve the younger. So in here you're going to see where Esau sold his birthright. And he was weak when he did this. But I'm going to read about it, and I'm going to start at verse 28. So, well, I'm sorry. I'm going to start before here. Um, verse 19. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm going to start in verse I'm going to start at verse 1 of Genesis 25. It says, Then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan begot Sheba and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashiram, and Letushim, and Leumim. I'm butchering these names. And the sons of Midian, Epav, and Epher, and Hanok, and Abida, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. That was Isaac's inheritance. Okay. It says, But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son. It says, While he yet lived eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived 160 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar the Hittite, which is before Mamre. The field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth, there was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that God blessed his son Isaac. It says, and Isaac dwelt by the well Lahairoi. I don't know how to say that. But it says, now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. Um, and these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajoth and Kedar. Okay, and I'm just going to skip these names down to verse 16. It says, these are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their towns, by their castles, 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered to his people. And they dwelt from Havilah into Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. The daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pandanaram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. It says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, see, Esau was weak when he did this. It says, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. I'm going to pause right there, because that's when Satan tries to come in at your weakest to get you to sell your birthright, uh, your inheritance, what will initially be your inheritance, due to you being weak, being in need of something, you know, at your weakest point. That's when Satan comes in to try to devour, to take, to steal. He is the worst, as he walks around like a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour, seeking to destroy who he may devour. And that's exactly what Satan does. He waits till you're at your weakest, and that's what he will do. He, in this case, when it concerns your birthright, he will offer it at your weakest. Wait till you're at your weakest to get you to sell your birthright. But do not sell your birthright. Be strong in the Lord. And the way that you get strong in the Lord is by staying close to him, reading the word. Because as you read the word, you're going to be strengthened to where you're going to be able to discern, what people are actually trying to do when they come and offer you something. But if you just hang on, even through weakness, in the end, you will see the inheritance that is attached to that birthright and will be prosperous. But do not sell your birthright. Do not sell out because you're weak. Verse 31 says, and Jacob said, so okay, so I'm gonna start at verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. So Esau despised his birthright. I'm gonna go to let's see. I'm going to go in Genesis chapter 27 when Isaac is about to die. Because once they die, that's when they would bless the oldest, um, you know, with that inheritance. Um, but I'm going to start reading from verse 1. It says, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here I am. And he said, behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. Now Esau went to do this knowing that he had already sold his birthright to Jacob. That's something to note, because, you know, it's sort of like once you sell your birthright, there's no turning back from that. Um, but I'm going to continue reading. It says in Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took um, goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. Now, I want to pause there and go back to Genesis 25, because this is why I believe Rebecca did this. Um, not to be disobedient, to her husband, but when Esau sold his birthright to Jacob, in verse 33, Jacob said, "Swear to me this day," and it says, "And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob." Um, I'm going to go to another scripture. Let me find it. Okay, so I'm in Ecclesiastes chapter 5, and I'm going to read. I'm going to read verses 4 through 5. It says, "When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay." And so somehow Rebecca knew that Esau sold his birthright to Jacob. It doesn't say it directly in the scriptures, but for her to do that, she had to have known that he had already sold his birthright. And when his father told him to go, hunt to prepare him food, he went to do it as if he had never even sworn and vowed, you know, to Jacob his birthright. He was going to try to keep his birthright after he had already sold it, basically, um, deceiving, basically. And so I'm going to go back to Genesis chapter 27, continue reading. And so I'm reading from verse 14. It says, "And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. He said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto to Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore, God give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee." I'm going to pause right there, because when Esau sold his birthright, it was because he was weak. He was satisfied for the moment with the pottage that Jacob had. That was only for a moment. But this blessing that Isaac blessed Jacob with, due to Esau selling his birthright, is something that was going to last forever. He said, I'm going to read it again. He said, Give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. This is what was going to make Jacob prosperous. And it says, Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. And it says, and it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting, expecting to still be blessed after selling his birthright to Jacob. But remember, when I first read in the beginning of Genesis 25, that Abraham blessed Isaac with all that he had. And that was when he was dying. And then Isaac turned around and blessed Jacob with all that he had. And this, what he blessed him with, was something that could last forever. Yeah, he blessed him with what could last forever. So when you choose to sell your birthright, or someone tries to get you to sell your birthright, you might be blessed with something, but it's not going to be something that's going to last forever, especially if it does not come from God. When it's of the devil, it comes with a price, and it does not last forever. But when it comes from God, it lasts forever, and there's no price on that. And so I'm going to stop there. because the last part is just about Esau's response to not being blessed, um not receiving his birthright. But well, I'm going to continue reading, because it goes into, it continues into everything. Okay, so verse 31 says, and he also had made savory meat and brought it into his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yeah, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. So it says, and he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? All that is what Jacob received just from having you know Esau sell his birthright. um Verse 38 says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Um, so I'm going to stop there. But the message with this prophetic word is to not sell your birthright. Um, you know, do not sell your birthright. Someone offers something in the form of reward, you go, before you accept it, you pray and you go to God to make sure that this is from him, that this is of him, and if it's something that he wants you to do, before making the decision to do it, or accepting whatever reward someone is trying to offer. And so that is all that I have for this word. That's all I have to say. I'll see y'all in the next video. And if you watch and it resonates with you, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. But that's all for now, you guys. So bye. See you later.